Psalm 34-18 says, "The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit." These words are not distant poetry. They are living promises meant for this moment. Many of us carry scars that cannot be seen. Trauma does not disappear with time. It reshapes the way we see ourselves, the way we relate to others, and even the way we dream about the future. Some try to bury it, saying the past should stay behind, but the weight remains. It lingers in choices, in relationships, in hidden corners of our hearts, and it often returns in quiet moments when we least expect it. Think of the memories you carry. Maybe rejection that still echoes, words that cut so deep they change the way you view love, or the silence of someone who should have cared but turned away. These moments plant doubt and whisper lies. They tell you that you are not enough, that love will always leave, that joy will not last. Psychologists call these thought patterns schemas, survival strategies that once kept you safe but now keep you trapped. Yet the Word of God reminds you that these wounds are not the end. Isaiah 41:10 declares, "Fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you. I will help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand." The Gospel of Matthew tells of a man with leprosy, cast aside, called unclean, weighed down by shame every single day. And yet he approached Jesus and knelt before him saying, "Lord, if you are willing, you can make me clean." Matthew 8:2. His words carried both faith and surrender. He did not demand. He did not try to prove his worth. He acknowledged the power of Christ and trusted his will. This is the posture that opens the door to true healing. We may not bear disease on our skin, but many of us carry hidden scars in our hearts. Scars from neglect, betrayal, or loss. We enter relationships expecting rejection. We face challenges with fear of failure always near. We give endlessly to others while starving our own souls, because deep inside we believe our worth is only found in pleasing. These are echoes of trauma, but hear the truth. The Lord does not recoil from you. He reaches out as he did for the outcast and says, "I am willing," Matthew 8:3. He touches the very places you hide and begins restoration. Healing is not always instant. Sometimes it comes in layers. Sometimes through slow awareness, prayer, and daily steps of trust. Yet every moment you bring your pain before him is part of the process. Jeremiah 30:17 reminds us, "For I will restore health to you, and your wounds I will heal, declares the Lord." These are not theories. They are lifelines for the weary soul that no longer wants to carry burdens alone. So tonight, allow yourself to breathe deeply and notice what you have been carrying. You no longer need to hide it. You do not need to pretend you are unshaken. In prayer, you can whisper, "Lord, here are my wounds. Here are my fears. Here are the scars I still carry. If you are willing, touch them with your healing hand. Replace shame with peace. Replace fear with courage. Replace loneliness with the assurance of your presence. This is where real resilience is born. Not from denying the pain, but from facing it with God beside you. You are not broken beyond repair. You are not abandoned, and you are not unworthy. Trauma may explain your feelings, but it does not define who you are. You belong to the one who calls you beloved, the one who heals what no one else can see. Trust his timing, believe his touch is personal, and rest in his love that runs deeper than your past scars. As Psalm 147:3 says, he heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds. Tonight, let this be your truth. You are seen, you are loved, and you are being restored in his presence day by day. Trauma builds invisible walls around the heart. These walls make it difficult to trust, to love deeply, or to feel safe in silence. You may recognize a cycle. When someone you care about does not reply, your mind begins to race, filling with doubt and fear. This is not weakness. It is the echo of old wounds. Healing begins when you see those patterns for what they are, remnants of pain, not the truth about who you are. One of the deepest scars is the fear of rejection. As children, many learn that love could be withdrawn without warning, and as adults, they carry that expectation into every relationship. You may find yourself replaying conversations, bracing for heartbreak before it arrives. This fear is heavy, but it is not your identity. The Lord whispers a better word over you, reminding you that his love is steady, his presence unshaken, and that you are never abandoned. Another scar is self-doubt, the voice that tells you you are not capable, that you will fail before you even try. This voice is often born in environments where mistakes were punished instead of guided. Now it follows you into every challenge, holding you back from opportunities that were meant for you. But remember, God does not measure you by perfection. He strengthens you by his Spirit to take the next step, to rise again, to see yourself as more than your fears. Some wounds take the shape of shame, the belief that you are broken at the core. Shame tells you to hide, to cover your true self so no one can reject you again. But shame is a lie. You are not defective. You are not beyond repair. Healing begins when you bring even your shame before God, when you let him speak the truth of your worth into the silence. His hands formed you. His eyes see you, and his love does not waver. There is also the exhausting pattern of people-pleasing, saying yes when your body longs for rest, agreeing out of fear that love will disappear if you say no. This pattern drains you, leaving nothing left for your own soul. But rest is not selfish. Setting boundaries is not rejection. You are called to care for others, yes, but not at the cost of abandoning yourself. True love does not demand your exhaustion. It honors your wholeness. Some of the hardest struggles come from losing your sense of self, believing your worth exists only in someone else's shadow. This leaves you unsure of who you are, where you are going, and afraid to be alone. Yet the truth is you were created as an individual, whole and complete. God calls you to freedom, not dependency, to stand firm in your identity as His beloved. Healing these wounds is not about erasing the past. It is about inviting God into the places you have hidden. Trauma tells you that you are powerless, but faith teaches you that you are never alone. Every prayer, every step of honesty, every moment of surrender is part of the healing process. It may come slowly, but it comes surely. So pause for a moment. Take a deep breath and bring to mind the places where fear or shame still speak loudly. Place them into the hands of Christ and whisper, Lord, if you are willing, heal me here. Heal what I cannot heal on my own. Give me peace where there is fear, courage where there is doubt, and rest where there is weariness. And trust this truth from Psalm 147:3. He heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds. Tonight, hold on to this. The Lord has not forgotten you. He is already at work restoring what pain tried to destroy. Shame, doubt, and exhaustion often travel together, weaving a story that convinces you that you are broken beyond repair. You may find yourself living in patterns that drain your strength, saying yes when you long to say no, doubting your worth even when others affirm you, or holding back in relationships because you fear rejection. These are not signs of weakness. They are the echoes of trauma, patterns formed long ago when love felt uncertain or when safety was missing. Healing begins when you can see them clearly, not as your identity, but as survival strategies that no longer serve you. Imagine the weight of carrying those patterns day after day. They whisper lies in moments of silence. They replay arguments when you try to rest. They push you to please everyone while leaving yourself empty. And yet, even in the midst of this cycle, there is hope. Healing does not erase the past, but it opens a new way forward. It is the work of bringing your hidden places into the presence of God, where His love can meet what you have tried to bury. Think of how Jesus reached out His hand to touch the man others called untouchable. That same touch is offered to you. Where shame tells you to hide, His love calls you into the open. Where doubt says you cannot, His strength whispers you can. Where exhaustion wears you thin, His presence gives rest. Healing may not happen in an instant, but every prayer, every breath of surrender is part of the restoration already unfolding. There is also a battle beyond what you can see, a spiritual struggle that seeks to keep you chained to old wounds. The enemy works through fear, through lies, through the weight of shame. But remember this truth: you are not left defenseless. God has given you His Spirit, His Word, and His presence as a shield. You are not fighting alone. Every time you bring your pain into prayer, every time you choose trust over fear, you push back against the darkness. Healing is often quiet. It happens in small steps, like choosing to rest instead of overextending, like saying no when your soul needs space, like allowing yourself to be loved without fear of abandonment. These steps may feel small, but they are sacred. They are the ways God rebuilds what trauma tried to destroy. So tonight, let this be your prayer. Lord, take the weight I no longer want to carry. Touch the places where shame has silenced me, where fear has kept me small, where exhaustion has drained my joy. Replace them with your peace, your courage, your rest. And let this promise from Isaiah 41:10 guide you. Fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you. I will help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. Trust that these words are for you here and now. Let them sink deep into your heart. Let them remind you that no scar is too deep for God's healing, no wound too hidden for his love, and no life too broken for his restoration. Faith is not proven only when prayers are answered quickly. It is proven when you continue to trust in the waiting. Many people believe healing must come instantly, that restoration must be visible right away. Yet some of the deepest healing is the kind you cannot measure in a moment. It is the strength to rise each day when you feel weary. It is the courage to love again when rejection once tore you apart. It is the ability to breathe in peace even when circumstances remain unchanged. Trauma may have planted fear in your story, but faith plants endurance. Think again of the man with leprosy. His words were simple. Lord, if you are willing, you can make me clean. He did not set conditions. He did not say when or how. He only surrendered. That surrender is at the heart of true faith. It is the recognition that God's timing is wiser than ours, that his plan reaches farther than our understanding, and that his presence is enough even when answers feel delayed. This posture of surrender turns waiting into worship, suffering into strength, and fear into trust. Every person carries battles that no one else can see. You may fight anxiety that interrupts your rest, memories that replay without invitation, or loneliness that weighs on your spirit. These are unseen wounds, yet they are real. Healing is not only for the body, it is for the soul. When Christ touches your hidden places, he restores what shame tried to erase. He gives water to the dry spirit, and he brings light into the dark corners of the heart. It is tempting to measure God's love by the speed of the outcome, but his love is steady even in the valley. When prayers are answered, give him glory. When they are not answered in your timing, still give him glory. For it is in the waiting that faith is refined, and it is in the struggle that strength is born. Romans 8:28 declares, and we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love him, who have been called according to his purpose. Your suffering is not wasted. Even what was meant for harm can be transformed into something that grows your soul. This does not mean the journey is easy. There will be nights when fear returns, mornings when exhaustion lingers, and days when doubt feels louder than faith. But those are the moments when trust becomes real. Every breath of surrender, every whispered prayer, every decision to keep going is proof that your story is not over. Healing may be gradual, but it is unfolding with every step. So Tonight, let this be your prayer. Lord, I surrender not only my pain, but also my impatience. Teach me to trust you in the waiting. Give me strength to walk with courage, even when the path is long. Help me see your hand at work, even in the silence. Replace my fear with faith. Replace my striving with rest, and remind me that your plan is greater than my own. Let these words of promise from Romans 8:28 be my anchor. What trauma tried to break in me, you will turn into strength. What suffering tried to silence, you will turn into testimony. I believe my life is being restored in your perfect time. Every journey of healing leads to a choice. You can keep carrying the weight of old wounds, or you can place them into the hands of the one who promises restoration. Trauma may have written chapters of your story, but it does not write the ending. The final word belongs to God. His love is greater than your shame. His strength is greater than your fear, and his presence is greater than your loneliness. Healing begins when you decide to believe that his voice is louder than the voices of the past. Think of how many times you have felt unworthy, like something about you was too broken to be loved. Those lies may have shaped your choices, but they do not define your identity. God calls you his child, and nothing can separate you from his love. When you let that truth take root, it changes the way you see yourself and the way you walk through the world. You began to see not only your scars, but also the resilience that grew through them. You begin to notice not only your pain, but also the strength that pain could not steal. Faith does not promise a life free from struggle, but it does promise a life where struggle is never the end. There will still be nights of uncertainty and days of weariness, but you are not walking through them alone. God's Spirit walks with you, giving you courage when you feel empty and peace when your thoughts run restless. What trauma tried to shatter, God is piecing back together. What fear tried to silence, God is turning into testimony. This is where prayer becomes your anchor. Each word you speak to him is not lost. Each tear you shed is seen. Each burden you place at his feet is carried. You do not have to fight in silence. You do not have to hide your wounds. He invites you to come as you are and to trust that his love is enough. Psalm 23:4 says, "Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me." This promise is not about avoiding the valley, but about never being alone inside it. So let your final prayer tonight be a prayer of surrender and of hope. Lord, I give you my past, my pain, my fears, and my scars. Heal the places I cannot heal myself. Restore my heart where it has been broken. Strengthen me where I feel weak. Let my life become a testimony of your mercy and your power. Teach me to walk not in fear, but in faith. Not in shame, but in freedom. Not in exhaustion, but in rest. As you breathe in these words, know that healing is not a distant dream. It is already at work within you. God is rebuilding your spirit, renewing your strength, and reminding you that you are loved. Your scars are not signs of defeat. They are reminders of the places where grace met you and lifted you again. Tonight you can rest knowing this truth. Your story is safe in the hands of God, and your future is being written with hope